and you can adjust the margin based on your true cost, right? Because you can actually add your overheads into your employee cost.
Absolutely.
So so you actually know what you're going to walk away with at the end of the job.
Yeah. Thank you very much for tuning in to the Puzzle Factory today. I'm joined by Braeden from Voltsy Electrical. How are you, mate?
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on, mate.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. So, what's the story, mate? Give us a bit of background on you, where you're from. Give me biography.
Yep. So I guess a history of myself and Voltsy. I grew up in East Auckland. Went to Pakuranga College. Didn't really know what I wanted to do when I finished school. But I met a family friend who was a Sparky, and they sort of inspired me to take that route. So I jumped on board with ETCO.
Yep.
Did my apprenticeship, and spent the last. Still, actually didn't really like it for the first couple of years until I went on board with this one company, which changed everything.
Yeah.
And that's when we started doing commercial interiors, and I really fell in love with it. So I think it was the fast-paced turnaround and sort of the hustle that goes into it, and then also the finishing detail. So you sort of get a bit of everything. Did that. Moved to Queenstown, spent a year doing some high-end residential, and then
super high-end by the sounds of it,
super
Batcave spec.
Yeah. So when I was down there for 12 months, I did 2 houses. Both of them were really big. One of them was I think it was somewhere close to a $20 million build.
Yeah, decent.
And it was on Queenstown Hill, and the way it was built is it was built vertically into the cliff. So you'd come in off the street, drive down the driveway. You just got what looks like a single level garage, and then from there you drive in, and then the house just drops straight down the cliff. And I think it was only 3 bedroom, but it was 1 bedroom, and then the second one floor was a whole bedroom, because it would have a little study attached to it, plus a massive bathroom.
Yeah. And
then you go down the next level, and you would have the living area and the dining.
Yeah.
And then you go down the next level, and it'd just be 2 bedrooms. Massive house.
Any garden?
There was. Yeah, it had so it had on the ground level on the lakeside, it had a little rock garden with a spa pool. And then on the inside, where so you had a massive wall, it was 10 meters tall, stone wall.
Yeah.
And then when you come out of the middle level where the living area is, there was a fire pit.
Yep.
So it had that little outdoor area. For that, we probably didn't get much sun.
Almost like a Zen garden, within the house.
Yeah, to think about it now, that probably didn't get much sun, because you had that massive wall on this side, and then you had the house on this side, so it was right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
That probably didn't get much sun, but the house was cool.
Yeah.
And that was a completely different, type of work compared to what I was doing before in the commercial space.
Yeah.
So that was really fun, and when I was living down there, I was flatting with a bunch of Europeans, and we had a 3-bedroom house, and we had 5 people living in it.
Yeah.
So
classic.
We were people were sleeping in the lounge. It was chaotic, and I made a lot of friends who went back to Europe the year after, and sort of inspired me to come over and do an OE. So got my UK visa.
Mm-hmm.
Went over to Europe, did some backpacking, the classic, and then settled in Edinburgh in Scotland.
Yep.
Ended up just getting a job doing maintenance for a hotel chain, but it was it was a electrical company that they had a contract with a bunch of hotels, so we would travel all throughout the UK, just doing emergency lighting tests.
Oh.
That's essentially all we were doing. That
perfect hangover job for while you're partying up the UK, mate.
Mate, it was a wild time, and the people that worked in the company, they definitely fell into that category.
So there was some mischief afoot, was there? Tomfoolery.
There was a little bit, yeah. I mean, let's say there were definitely a few late starts.
Yeah.
But you could sort of get away with it, because as long as you did what was required, then there was a bit of play there.
Yeah, bloody good, mate.
So that was fun. And then I actually ended up moving. I had some friends who were living in Sweden, and that was one of my flatmates from Queenstown.
Yeah.
So he convinced me to move over there for my second year. So I got a visa to move there, and I went to Stockholm.
Yeah.
And over there, I worked for a company called they're called E3 Control.
Yeah.
And they were doing they're building like control panels for any electrical company. I think there's companies here that do it similar to like core switchboards.
No, don't actually.
No. Stipe owns it. But they like if you need a switchboard, they basically prefabricate it and they can like fit all the PLCs in. They can fit the MCBs, RCDs.
Yeah.
But essentially, all you do is just mount it.
Yeah.
But
It's the same as your classic commercial switchboards that PDC or LIN and stuff like that would make with the controls built in.
Essentially, yeah. So it's like that. But the company I was working with was super innovative. They had this fucking like huge machine. And they had these guys in the office who would like design the switchboard on CAD.
Yeah.
And then push print. And then this machine would it looked like a giant printer, and it would had all these cable drums attached to it, and it would pull the cables in, and it would pre-cut them to a certain length, and then label it, and then it would fire it out the other side on a rack.
Yeah.
And basically, you would look at the diagram, and then you would have the wires pre-cut, and you would fit the switchboard with all the controllers. And then you would take the cable and just follow the diagram, just plug and play. And
so that's number one. It's going here to
essentially,
here.
And you'd do all the looming and everything, and then once you'd fitted that, you then move it over to the testing station and you run through all the tests and make sure that everything's running right.
Yeah.
And then they wrap it up and ship it off, and they were going all around the world.
So did they build that machine that did the printing or the?
Nah, they bought it. Europeans are smart like that. I think it came from Germany.
Yeah, of course it did.
Yeah, of course. I don't know how many companies actually use machines like that, but
I've never heard of that.
Nah, they were one of the first. Like when I started there, they didn't have it, and they bought it while I was there, so it was real new. But
Buzzy.
It was
yeah.
So I sort of saw the change because when I first started there, we had it was like this, like a desk. I had my chair, and then you had it was like a board that would sit on an angle, 45 degrees, and you would lay the switchboard on it.
Yeah.
And then you had a drum with different cables on it, and you would pull it off and cut it yourself.
Yeah.
And then you would put the little labels on it, and then bootlace crimp it.
Yeah.
So I went from doing that, and then a month later, this thing was just printing these cables out in pre-cut links.
Right. Do you know if any companies in New Zealand use them?
Nah, I don't think so. I'd be surprised. I think he said he paid €500,000 for it when I was there.
So $1 million easy.
Yeah, almost $1 million bucks for the machine. I mean, they should use it. It was fucking efficient. It was fast.
I guess if you're listening and you're in the switchboard manufacture game,
yeah, mate,
give Braeden a ring and find out.
I'll put in touch with the boys in Sweden.
Yeah, that's buzzy as. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
So that made life easier.
Yeah, that made life easier. Yeah. I mean, I was over there doing that, having a bit of fun, because it was something different that I hadn't done before. But got some experience actually putting these switchboards together and then actually testing all the PLCs, making sure it all works.
Yeah.
And then, so that brings me to about February 2020.
Just before you move on to that, what was Sweden like?
Awesome.
Yeah,
I really liked it. Yeah, especially Stockholm, as a city, it's a fucking good city, man. Super efficient. If any smaller city looks up to a city, it needs to be like that. The only problem is it gets real cold.
Northern Europe.
So when I went there, when I first moved there, I think it was June or something. So we were in summer. Going into summer, and I went there for my friend invited me to Midsummer.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that? Have you seen the movie?
I've seen the movie.
Yeah, it's not
I don't know if I would have gone to that.
It's kind of like that.
Okay.
A little bit. So, but
did you get burnt to death?
They didn't sacrifice anyone. not that I saw. But there was some shit that looked like that. So we went to Stockholm, and then we flew to Gothenburg, and from Gothenburg, the family friend had there's a little island, and there's 4 batches on it, and it's in the lake. So we went to his batch for a midsummer, and it was a 3-day thing. And like the first day you get there, and it's like it's beautiful. Like we're there, and they've got like you bring the boat in, and they've got like a little dock, and on the dock there's like a boat shed, but the boat shed is actually a sauna.
Yeah.
So like when we get there, like the first thing we do is everyone gets in the sauna. Now I'm not used to this, but everyone was naked. So you're sitting there with like 10 people, and you've got like some old dudes there, and you've got like women. Everyone's in there, and they're all just sitting there naked. Like, it's completely normal.
I'm two boiled eggs and a hanky.
Yeah, I'm sitting there like, this is cool, but I'm not used to it. But yeah, that was fun. And then like, so you get like they steam it up, and then everyone jumps out naked into the lake.
Yeah.
So like that was a good way to start the experience. Then what weirded me out a little bit is when we got up to the house, they some of the people who were there a bit earlier had been making like they'd cut down some trees, and this was like some real pagan shit. And they had like made a cross, and then they put like the rings on it, and they were like carrying it down to the beach, like on their shoulders. There was like 6 of them.
Yeah.
And it like, and then what they do is they stand it up, and then they set it on fire. That's the whole thing. So like, but when you see that first, it's like,
and is that just a ritual?
It's a ritual. Yeah.
Does it mean anything?
I think it's like a virgin. Somebody with a virgin. I don't know. Maybe we might need to Google this. But it's. I think they're like, it's like the rings. I think represent like a virgin. I don't know.
Okay.
I probably should know this, but like to see some people carrying that down like from the forest to the beach.
That sounds sketchy as like
it is.
That's one of them traveling moments where you go, where the hell am I?
That's
like,
and then when you're the only foreigner, you're starting to think, am
I going up on that?
Yeah.
Whose sins am I dying for today?
Yeah, but that was fun, man. It's like summer in Sweden is so good because the sun doesn't see it.
I would imagine there was. Look, I'm just going to put this out there. Yeah. I've been to Northern Europe a couple of times. I've not been to Sweden, but compared to other countries I've resided and been to, if we're talking about the female of the species over there, the twos were like a 10.
There's no such thing as a 2.
Yeah.
And hey, this is not to throw Germany under the bus, but I flew from Germany to Sweden.
Yeah.
And I remember being at the airport in Germany and just, it is what it is. And then I remember landing in Sweden and being like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, who did this?
Yeah.
There's definitely they're a different breed up there.
Yeah, just something I noticed in my younger days in that area.
Yeah. I don't know what's in the water, man, but it's
It must be what they're burning the crosses, mate. It's got to be something to do.
It must be
all
maybe it's all the blood that they're drinking from the sacrifices.
All the babies that they're eating, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, mate. Go on. So you know, obviously you got a bit pagan in Sweden.
So I got a bit pagan, yeah, and then came back to New Zealand in February 2020 for my dad's birthday. Yep. It's early March, and when we came, we essentially. I think we almost went straight into lockdown. I may have been here for like a week or 2, and then it was just the whole outbreak happened.
Yeah.
I remember actually because I flew from Sweden to NZ via San Francisco, and I remember getting off the plane in San Francisco, and it was like, COVID. Like, what is this? And like, you start to hear about it, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then by the time I got to New Zealand, it was already like a thing. So like, it was like during my travel.
Because it was February 2020, wasn't it?
I think, it must have been. Because like, no one talked about it when I left Sweden. When I landed in San Francisco, people were talking about it. And then when I got to New Zealand, it was like oh shit, what's happening? So like, it happened that quick. So got stuck in lockdown. And when I was staying with my parents, I was actually sleeping in the garage.
Yeah.
So like and when I say garage, it wasn't like nice carpeted garage with like a pool table. It was like there's like a lawnmower next to me. there's like petrol tanks. My dad's got like his WD-40 on the shelf.
Just
like
sleeping on the slab.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like a slab. I think they put like a rug down and then they put like a mattress on it and like that was it. And it was like just a normal garage, like
welcome home.
Nothing special. Yeah, here you go. Because you're only meant to be here for a week or something.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah, I ended up staying in that garage for like 6 months. And you can ask my girlfriend about that because I met her during that same period.
And you were like, come back to mine.
She came back to the garage a few times, And yeah, she wasn't a fan of it. I'll tell you that.
Get
Back to the garage.
Well, mate, you know she loves you if she put up with that. You know
She's
what I mean?
she's been there the whole way.
Yeah.
So,
Perfect,
yeah.
mate. Perfect. So you came back. You were sleeping on a concrete floor in the garage, going, the world's ended. What do I do now?
Yeah. Essentially exactly that. Because my whole plan was to go back to Sweden, right? I had like a life there.
Yeah.
I had friends. I had a job.
Yeah.
You know, they were expecting me back. And so the whole thing was kind of like, fuck, what do I do? So I ended up, I actually just resigned back in Sweden and said, look, I don't think I'm going to be coming back.
Yeah.
And then I just started legitimately cold calling, like companies that I thought were cool. I think like, what's it? I can't remember the name. But I was Googling companies and I'd like see what sort of work they do. And then I'd call them and ask for a job. And it seems to be every time, sorry, mate, not hiring. Flick us your CV. Fuck. Okay. So then I just started asking instead, like, look, if you got like a small project, can I just jump in and help out for a bit?
Yeah.
And people were actually pretty receptive to that. And that was probably because like at the time they probably still had work on, but they didn't want to hire because they
didn't
were
want to
unsure.
commit.
Yeah, but then they see me coming in fresh, really keen to work, and they're like, "Yeah, of course, jump in." So I just started contracting, and yeah, I mean, I think I was charging like $50 an hour, and I was just helping like whatever pre-wire, fit off, whatever anyone needed. I didn't have a car, so I was driving my dad's old. He had a '95 Hilux Surf that he used to tow his boat.
Yeah,
so that thing was sitting in the driveway. Let me tell you, this thing smells like fish because all he does is he uses it for fishing. He puts his chili bin in the back with the bait.
Yeah.
And it goes to the boat and back. That's fucking all it does.
Full of salt water, probably
just,
full of fish.
It's fucking it's not a pleasant car to drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was borrowing that plus my like old tools that I dug out from like 3 years before that, which surprisingly was still working okay. So
not rusted up too.
Yeah, a little bit of CRC, a little bit of CRC. Yeah, and just started like picking up bits and pieces, and then yeah, I think I was probably doing like around like 3 days per week in total of like contracting because that's sort of all I could get, and then all the other time I would just be like grinding to try and pick up my own jobs.
Yeah. How were you going about that?
Newspaper adverts, printing out flyers, dropping them. I was doing like some guerrilla marketing. I was going to like supermarket car parks and like putting my flyers under people's like window wipers.
Yeah.
And dropping off like hundreds at a time.
Yeah.
And I think I didn't get any phone calls for ages.
Yeah.
And then I got one guy called me, and to me this is still at the time this was a big deal. I put a newspaper ad in the Halcon Packering at Times, and I think I paid $20, and it was like the smallest little advert, black and white, no logo, literally just said Electrician, Howick, like reliable service, something like that. And a guy called me, and he was an older builder in Howick, and he's like, "Man, I've got a house I need wired." I was like, "Yeah, I'll be there."
Where is it?
Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, exactly, I'll be there. So I picked up. I think that ended up being like a $7,000 or $8,000 job from like a $20 ad.
Yeah, man.
And then he sort of just kept me on, and he just like he didn't have big jobs, but it was always like because he was retired, but he would like pick up stuff for like his good customers, and he would always bring me in, and it was like kitchens, bathrooms, and I sort of just started between that and then my subcontracting. You know, I was doing like full time.
Yeah.
And yeah, eventually, I had to go to Russell's to set up an account. I remember this, and they wouldn't open a credit account for me. And
no trading history, no credit,
no credit, nothing. So they were like, "Look, we can do a cash account for you,"
which is tricky to operate a business on.
Fuck,
you better get a credit card.
I was like upfront paying with like the money I'd been like grinding for contracting.
Yeah.
To go buy a drum of cable,
and then hope the next job pays,
and then because like they wouldn't credit it because I was paying cash, so I was like, it was a fucking nightmare to tell you the truth.
Yeah,
and like I didn't really understand what I was meant to be paying for stuff, so I don't even know if I was getting like good discounts at the time. Like it was just it was tough, and yeah, so like that's sort of where it started, and then you know I saw a little bit of traction come through from those ads. I just kept at it. And then I started doing a bit more like actual drop-ins. So I would like go and like call builders, or I'd literally drive and walk into their office. I'd go and see property managers. That was probably where things actually started to turn a little bit for me.
Yeah.
As I got in with some property management companies, and I think I saw a big opportunity. They saw a cheap price, because they offered me some fixed price contracts on healthy homes installations, fans and range hoods.
Yeah.
So for the next 12 months, I was the fucking fan and range hood man.
Hey, that a lot of people get the start through real estate and property management companies. You know, you can't knock it at the beginning.
Yeah, you need it. And to be fair, to this day, we still do it. We actually still work with them.
Yeah.
We don't do.
I hope you've renegotiated the fixed price.
Mate, I haven't put a fan or range hood in about 2 years, and I don't plan to do it anymore. You have to. We hand those down to the younger fellas.
Yeah.
And you got to work your way through.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, yeah. We picked up a lot of that stuff, and then I would still just going cold call on builders, and
I think once you get as you say, you were handing out hundreds of flyers, not getting a single call, and you start going da, and something changes in your mindset the first time you make an opportunity for yourself, and you go, it's just a numbers game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure, it can be done better. It can be done more efficiently. The more you build your reputation as a company, obviously, it's going to attract more custom. But, the first time you make an opportunity, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
We can do it.
Well, it clicks, right? And you're like, wait, that worked.
Yeah.
And then you go, okay, if I just do that more, it technically should just add up and generate more work.
Yeah.
And it did. There's like a funny, one story I remember, which is a super important moment in business for me. And it was, I was driving down Cascades Road in Howick, and there was a cafe there where I normally get my coffees. And I saw a ute parked up, and it had some sign writing on it. And I was like, there's a builder. So I just pulled in, and this is when I was driving my dad. I was still driving my dad's Hilux Surf for about the first year.
Yeah.
So pull in the 95 Hilux Surf.
Stinking of fish.
I got a ladder shoved in through the back over the seats.
Yeah.
It was rough. And he was in the cafe. I didn't know who he was.
You just stood at the window staring at
So
him.
fucking almost. I stood outside of his ute.
Yeah.
And I legitimately stood there for half an hour until he came out, and then he comes out, and I start fucking fumbling, I'm getting nervous, and I'm like, hey mate, are you looking for a Sparky?
I wasn't.
I remember saying exactly that. Not even hi, I'm Braeden.
Yeah.
Just, hey mate, are you looking for a Sparky? And he was just like, send me an email. So he gave me his card. I flicked him an email, and he sent me a set of plans immediately.
Yeah.
I priced it, and this is for an extension of a house. I won the job and started the next week. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? That's what you have to do. You have to just get out there, even if it scares you and you don't know what you're doing. Just put yourself in the situation.
People most people love it as well. I've got a mate who, so he had a young fella in the gym who just kept hassling him for a job. They're doing a set, and the dude would just rock up and try and spot him and be like, "Can I come work for you?" Consistently for months and months and months, until in the end he was like, yeah, it's sweet, man. I'll give you a go. Turned out to be great. You know what I mean? But it works.
You have to be persistent, eh?
Yeah.
And then what happened next is even crazier. So I got this job for this guy. Now we did the project. Now the guy we did the project for owns another big company, but he owns an IT company doing a lot of cybersecurity and networking and stuff.
Yeah.
He loved our work. He was like, well, when I say I was me, but he loved the finish. He was like, you guys did an amazing job, super happy with the detail and how much care you took in the project. And he goes, look, we're an IT company, but we do a lot of infrastructure upgrades for network upgrades for businesses, where we actually take their entire system offline and put it onto a server. And when we fit the server room out, we need power, we need lighting, we need to assemble the rack and do all the networking side of it. And I was like, fuck yeah. So he started getting me involved with some small projects he was doing in Auckland, and before I knew it, he invited me down to Wellington to do a project there for Wellington Electricity because they were relocating an entire server room to like a because originally it was like in their office, and they actually built a dedicated facility in another location in Wellington, and they were relocating the entire thing. And he brought me into that project, and that was like our first ever big project.
Yeah.
I think at this point, sorry, I forgot to add, this is probably in my second year now, and I just hired my first guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah,
Tradesman or apprentice?
Yeah, I've been through a few in the first few years.
Did you hire a tradesman or an apprentice?
No,
first?
I hired apprentice.
Yeah.
And these were actually, I mean, I'm going to backtrack a little bit here, but these are some of the mistakes I made early on.
Would you? I've got a question. I ask everyone this because it's interesting.
Yeah.
Time again, would you hire a tradesman or an apprentice first?
Immediately a tradesman.
Thank you.
Yeah, immediately. I'd try to find probably the most experienced person. And I would hire them. And even if what they wanted scared me in terms of the number, I would pay it because an apprentice will cost you more.
Yep.
Even if they're half the price at the beginning,
yeah,
they're going to cost you more per hour.
Yeah, I just want to reinforce that because I get asked it quite a lot, but also there's a few different camps on it. But what is the point of hiring an apprentice first? You're not going to cover any more work because you're babysitting them. Mm-hmm. You can't send them to jobs on their own. Just wait until you can afford the extra money. Yeah. Get in a competent tradesman.
Super important. Yeah, I think like if I could go back to then, it would be hire the most experienced person you can get, and then if they're busy, then you can probably look at bringing an apprentice in to help with them and jump in the van with them. But as an owner operator, you don't want an apprentice with you because now you've committed yourself to 40 hours a week in the van.
Yeah.
So when are you going to do your admin?
Yeah,
when are you going to go stand outside a builder's van for half an hour? You're not going to take
the important stuff.
You can't take your apprentice with you.
But how many jobs are you going to take them to as well where they're unbillable?
Yeah, a lot.
It's a one-man job. They've got it. You can't just drop them off on the side of the road while you go, you know.
A lot. Yeah. And especially if you're doing work with property managers, right?
Yeah.
You can't take an apprentice with you to go change a light switch.
Yeah.
And charge for them.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
It just doesn't work.
No. So, yeah, when you're hiring, tradesmen first.
Tradesmen first. Another really important one, admin.
Yeah.
I found that a massive, massive change for us.
Let's get into this because this is kind of what I wanted to dig in with you as well.
Yeah.
Like we had a little chat before this, and I think we're both on the same page with hiring the right people into the right roles and not being scared of committing to your business to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So we can talk about lessons learned and stuff, but how early did you bring an admin on, for example?
I actually brought an admin in really early, and this is because I started with a coach quite early, and they recommended it.
Okay, let's rewind back to that. So, coach, how early on in business?
Probably my second year, I started dabbling with it. Now, like I have changed. I'm on my third one now because I've sort of just sometimes feel like they didn't always align. Like they helped me in the moment when I needed them, and then I sort of felt like I had to change as the business grew.
You almost outgrew them, and then
but the one that I've had the most recent is is very important to where we are.
And are these actual business coaches, or are they just
one was like
a
program, like it's like a tradie program,
like Tradie Success Academy type,
so something like that. Yeah, but this one was an Australian-based company.
Yeah,
but they had a network over here as well. And yeah, it was kind of like it was sort of like a system that you follow.
Yeah.
But the system was really useful at the beginning, but then the problem is that the course was really tailored towards home service only.
Yeah, okay.
So then as we grew, I like to do projects. I like commercial projects and I like to do houses.
Yeah. Different ballgame.
And it's different ballgame. Like we do maintenance as well. But the thing is, if you're building a dedicated maintenance business, that system just didn't really work with us.
Yeah.
It worked at the beginning. And that's also the guy who advised me maybe look at bringing in some admin because this is like in our second year, we were probably doing 50% like small renovation builder work, and then the other 50% was like the project manager stuff.
Yeah.
So like a lot of scheduling, a lot of like calling tenants and booking stuff, and that's where we brought the admin in.
Yeah, I think that's important to say because I think admin's really useful, but if you're just doing contracts, it's quite skilled admin because you're quoting variations, you're ordering gear. Whereas if you're a service-based company, you need an admin almost immediately because it is so admin heavy.
Yeah.
And if you can take somebody on who's an experienced admin,
Yeah.
and they can just book it all out for you, organize it all with the tenants. It's simple work.
Yes.
You're laughing.
Oh, and and that's because that's where a lot of inefficiencies come, right? It's like you go to a job, and then the tenant didn't leave the key out, or like they're still sleeping. It fucking happens more than you realize in the middle of the day. Just stuff like that. So
I've stood on somebody's bed while they're in it wiring a house before in the UK.
Yeah.
Get out of bed, you crackhead.
The light bulb's broken, because they took it down.
On the old crystal pistol.
So where do I go back to?
Sorry, I kind of jumped around all over the show there. So, just at what stage did you implement the right people in the right roles? And obviously the coaching thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, from what you're saying to me, it's almost like you'd recommend people get a coach if they can afford it from day dot.
Correct, yeah. So if I just go back before I got a coach, I had 3 employees come and go within like 12 months.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's not, I would say it's partially because of me. I didn't know what I was doing. And it's also partially because I was hiring the wrong people. Yeah. Like one of the guys that I hired, he was the only first qualified guy I hired, but he had a part-time job he didn't tell me about. And he would like sneak off early. And I would phone him and I would hear a forklift. And I'm like, what is that? Yeah, oh, nothing.
So he didn't tell you. So
he didn't tell me. No. And then I found out later that he actually had a part-time job.
That's weird.
Yeah. So that was so like that was a weird one. And then I had like other guys who would just, people who would like take steal materials out of the van, people who would like turn up late because there's just so many things I didn't know. Like I didn't have GPSs in the van. I didn't have like proper structures, and people sort of just took the piss.
Yeah.
And it was only when I got the coach, and then he sort of advised me, okay, get experienced people and get an admin. So then that's when I sort of got my first qualified Sparky in.
When you got the or this first program or whatever, I understand that they were putting structure into your business. What about incoming work? Did they give you any advice on that?
No, because it was all home service. It was really focused around like SEO and online marketing, and like a lot of call to action sort of stuff. So like websites were ideally booked as like a funnel, and it was like
cool now,
super colorful, and like discount here, book now, and save this, blah blah blah, which didn't really align with the overall vision. Because like what I wanted to build is like I want to build a company that's going to be operating in that high end commercial space again,
which
and
is
doing these nice houses. Yeah, and if I'm trying to build a business that's dressed up like a home service business, it doesn't really align. Yeah, so that's why I stepped away from that program. Yeah. And I went and found like a dedicated coach, like someone who I just work with one-on-one.
Yeah.
And with them, it just basically works on like a retainer. So like we just pay them a monthly fee. They're available whenever we need them, and we have a monthly meeting for like 2 to 3 hours, whatever's required. And the guy who I work with he's built and sold many businesses throughout his time, so he's sort of been through every stage.
Yeah. And
he started his first business at 19.
Okay.
And he sold it at like 30. So he's sort of done the entire cycle.
Yeah.
So he knows exactly where I'm at, and every time I bring up a problem, he's got like an idea or solution for it, and it's made a world of difference. And yeah, like my advice to anybody who is starting in a business early on, once you get a little bit of money coming in, you got a bit of extra money, go in and invest in a coach, or go in and get some help, because even if it's going to cost you $20,000 a year, you're going to make that money back, like in the first year, or if not more. And you're going to save yourself headaches and stress, and you're not going to make some of the classic mistakes that I did early on, which I don't think I would have made if I had the right person.
You're paying somebody who's made all them mistakes, essentially,
Yes.
to tell you how they fixed them, right?
Yeah.
But in the meantime, it's not going to affect your reputation. It costs you a bit of money, but it's not going to affect your reputation.
Yes. Yeah. And that's gonna that leads me on to like one of the mistakes that we made early on, and in which we wouldn't have made if I had some guidance. And it was getting too busy and letting people down. And the reason that happened is because we had landed like a deal with like a high-end builder, my first one, and we're doing a lot of really good projects for them. But my heart was still set on getting these commercial ones. So I was still out there doing my cold calls, my classic like sales, and finally got on board with a commercial client, and they gave us our first job. Me not remembering like the pace of the commercial project and the demand that they require from you, and still having these high-end jobs. But at the time I had one qualified Sparky and an apprentice. But the qualified Sparky, not the right personality fit, let's say that. And what happened is we got too busy on the residential project on the commercial project, that I would take all the boys off the site and move them over to the commercial, and I would start juggling them. And what we started doing is we started getting behind on the other jobs. And then we ended up letting that person down on the residential one. And they dropped us as like one of their subbies. And still to this day, I call them because I'm very persistent. But, they've got a new Sparky and they're happy with them, and we can't get back in. It's just it's just not open.
Totally.
And, that was like it's a bit of a shame because they do some fucking epic builds.
It's hard as well because, commercial, they have a program. That's the friggin' program.
Yeah.
And they don't give a shit what your reasons are.
No.
You're either there or get somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, if they need you there to like fit something off, and you can't get there during the day, okay, perfect. Go there at night.
Yeah.
Site's unlocked.
Yeah.
We'll leave the key out. Go on the weekend.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Like, just get it done. You've got till Monday.
Yeah, I think because I think there's another thing that people go through as well. When you because we all hear these stories of like, oh yeah, you've got to do the hard yards when you set up a business and da da da. And I think your first couple of years you kind of feel like whether there's stuff to be done or not, you almost feel like you have to work all day and then come home and work till midnight and do the grind and da 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 da. Whereas in reality, if you're working organized and you can control what you're doing, you make way more money. When it's chaos, you just leak money everywhere.
Honestly, when you get a coach and you work through running your business in a way where things are more planned and you're more proactive with the structure and how you generate work and just having processes for everything, you don't end up just sort of fighting fires or always reacting to problems as they come up. Because like, for a long time I was always reacting to something. Like if I don't have enough work, I would go out and just generate work, and then we get too busy, and then now I got to hire, just bring anyone on board, bring the wrong people on board, or like go out and buy like a shit vehicle, which I've done that as well. I think it fell apart because I was in a rush, and like I've just done all that. Whereas like where we are now, we have a lot more structure in place where like. I don't go home at night and sit there till midnight invoicing now and doing emails. Like I finish my day, I start my day at the same time as the boy, 8:00, and I finish at 5. And I don't need to do stuff outside of that. Like I can if I want, but I don't have to. The business still runs the same.
And that comes from that structure.
And it comes from the structure. Yeah. And like, the profitability is up. We're running a way better business. We got a really good team culture.
But it comes from doing it with purpose, like you say, being deliberate. Like this is what we are going to do, not like, oh shit, that's happened, so we better do this.
Exactly. Yeah. It's being deliberate, and honestly, it just comes back down to having the right people. Like another really big thing for us early on was actually joining the trade group and I'll give you guys a shout out for that.
Mate, mate,
for real,
me blush.
Yeah, well, you should, mate. Because no, honestly, like before I joined the trade group, I didn't know what estimating was.
Yeah,
I just called it quoting.
Yep.
So like, what I would do is someone would be like, okay, we've got a house, give me a quote. So I would take the plans and I would load them onto PowerPoint. And then I would like get like the little symbols because I didn't know how to fucking do a design. Like I didn't know there was software you could do.
So
you're
talking about getting architecturals and then doing an electrical design.
Yeah. So I'll put it on the PowerPoint and then I would like get like a little square or like a star and I would like drop it around the plan.
PowerPoint.
Yeah, I would mark it the plan and then I would like do like my little legend next to it. Yeah. And then I'd be like, okay, that's gonna be about half an hour. That's about half an hour. And I would like quote it like this, and then. We just lost money on every job, and it like.
what stage were you at when you joined Trade Group? How far in were you?
It was after I made this giant mistake. So, at the end of the second year,
yeah,
I went and approached some of the like spec house builders,
yeah,
and we won a deal. This is between two builders. We won 17 houses. Which should have been a red flag when I think about it now.
You were too cheap.
It was a red flag.
What did you miss?
Yeah. So, what didn't I miss? So there was, so we did, those 17 houses took us over the entire, roughly like 10 to 12 month period.
Yeah.
Where on the entire 17 houses, we just broke even, but had a lot of stress with it.
Yeah.
And the reason that I did that is because I didn't have an estimating software that had these sort of pre-builds.
Yeah.
I only found out about this afterwards, and that's when I joined the trade group and I used it, and I was like, oh my God, like this is a way better tool because, you price it, you have like, your estimated labor for each stage, pre-wire fit off, you have your cutout in there.
Yeah. And
then you got your materials, and then you can adjust it to the margin, which is the fucking really important thing.
Well, I mean, a lot of people outside a trade group don't realize that our software catapult. I think there are others who do it, but we're one of the only crowds who gives you our kit sets or our pre-builds.
Yeah.
Which is, as you say, PowerPoint. It's got everything you need to supply and install like PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Plus, we've honed them for 18 years.
Yeah.
So they are still an average.
Yeah,
but they are pretty bloody accurate.
They're good. Yeah, for general installs, they're really good. And the way like the system works, being able to, because you can get a blank set of plans, architecturals, do a lighting design, bring it into the CRM, and then you can actually look at, all your labor quantities, all of your costs, and then you can adjust your margin, and you can adjust the margin based on your true cost, right? Because you can actually add your overheads into your employee cost.
Absolutely.
So you actually know what you're going to walk away with at the end of the job.
Yeah, because you build it into your hourly costs, right?
As long as everything goes right. Yeah. As opposed to just the guesswork game, which I was doing like a year before that.
Yeah, I know. It's scary, but again, same principles as when you got a business coach. It's bringing structure to another part of your business. There's structure within. How you back costing jobs, how you're quoting jobs and putting them together, there's a cost allocated for every element in that job,
Yeah. Understanding your numbers is super, super important.
Yeah.
I did a course with the Ice House early on called Know Your Numbers.
What's the Ice House?
It's like Ice House do like a lot of the venture capital investments.
Okay.
For like startups and stuff like that, but they also run courses for business owners.
Yeah.
And they do one called Know Your Numbers.
Yeah.
And it's literally like diving into your costs and actually understanding, your costs aren't just like the materials and then the hourly rate you're paying your guy. It's your total overhead divided by like your chargeable hours throughout the year, and then you sort of have to, once you know that, until you know that, I think it's very, very hard to actually make money.
Well, yeah, because you're most likely, if you don't know that, you're losing money on your hourly rate.
You just get, exactly, yeah. You might be making a little bit on the materials.
Yeah, what are you spending on your premises? If you've got a premises, you've got all your van maintenance, you've got fuel, blah, blah,
insurance,
blah,
chargeable hours.
Yeah, if if you just search Voltsy, it'll come up straight away.
You'll find us.
Yeah, I've had a
I was.
Yeah, insurance. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
All that stuff, and
Yep.
like, crack me up. It was probably about 5 years ago now. But I got sent a website from some guy on the South Island, and he'd set up a business. Right, he was like, "Yeah, I'm going out on my own." He'd set up this business that looked like Word 97, and it said on there that he was charging so much an hour, which was very low.
Yeah, right.
And nothing on materials.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really, just cost price.
And then we ended up finding a guy who like knew him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, idiot, absolute idiot." And he's like, basically, he's gone, "Yeah, well that hourly rate's more than I get paid, like being employed currently, so I'll kill it."
Yeah, good on you.
Like,
Good on you. Mate, what's his number? I'll use him as a sub.
Yeah,
I'll use him as a
exactly,
subby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we were just like, but you know, you can take the piss all you want, but he obviously didn't know.
You just don't.
And
yeah.
you know, most people have got a bit more understanding than that, but there's just so much shit that people don't know.
Yeah, and it just comes back to investing in it early on.
Yeah.
I mean,
probably both of us included. Like, you know, we probably know a fair bit about it, but there's still be shit that we don't know. You know,
100%. Yeah. I mean,
I just got to continue learning. You know,
100%. I mean, every day is learning day. I still feel like I know nothing.
Yeah.
But compared to what I knew 5 years ago, I feel like I know everything compared to that guy. You know,
absolutely.
and then even to who I was 2 years ago,
Yeah.
I still feel like I know so much more.
Yeah.
So I'm, in a few years' time again, I'm excited to see the difference then. But, you like because we've grown more in the last 2 years than we did the first 3 years.
Yeah.
By like more than double.
Yeah, it gets exponential.
Yeah, but it's been easier. Yeah. It's been less stress. We've had less problems. We run a better company. We're doing better jobs.
Yeah.
We have better relationships with the clients that we work with.
Yeah.
And it's just all down to like having the structure.
So bringing it back to Voltsy, how many guys have you got now?
So the whole team's 8. We've got 6 Sparkies. We've got a full-time admin, and then we've got an estimator.
Right. Okay. Oh, so you've got an estimator,
I've got an estimator
on as well.
now, yeah.
Okay, and you kind of are the general manager of it, would you say? Or?
Yeah, managing director. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I still wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
I still have to deal with like the accounts. We have a bookkeeper that we outsource a lot of stuff to.
Yeah.
But I still deal with a lot of like the money side of it. I also oversee every quote before it goes out. So the estimator basically gets it ready. I submit everything.
Yeah.
Great
idea to have 2 sets of eyes on them.
Yeah. I also, I deal with relationships with our suppliers, with clients.
Yeah.
I still do a lot of site meetings, and occasionally I will even jump on the tools and do stuff. Definitely not as much.
But you're pretty much off the tools as a
like
rule?
95% of the time, yeah.
Cool.
But like I will still, if we get, for example, we had 3 guys sick on Monday.
Yeah, so you got to be.
I had to go on the tools. Yeah, I had to go to a hot water cylinder. It's kind of like I haven't done one of these in like 2 years, but it just is what it is. Like when you
Still got it.
still yes.
Yeah, you would have been walking off site going, still got it.
I'm not kidding. My pliers and my sides were they were rust. They didn't open. So it had been a while.
Yeah.
My batteries are all dead.
Yeah.
But still got it.
And then you go, where's that? Where's my laser? I lent that to such a body,
Yeah. It's better just to not have me on site. I don't.
Yeah. Who's put a skilly through my step
ladders?
And obviously, like from what I've seen from the outside, like everything you do as far as visibility, marketing, brand awareness for Voltsy looks main at the minute. So what?
Yeah, thank you.
You've obviously spent a bit of time on that recently, and
I think we started a little bit last year, and we tried to do it ourselves. And this comes back to like the investing in the business again. Yeah, because I didn't want to spend the money to like outsource it. So I tried it myself, and I just kept creating like really shit stuff. Like, and also it wasn't consistent. Like, I would post something and then I wouldn't have anything for a few weeks and post again. So we went and reached out to a marketing company who does specifically construction marketing. I'll give them a shout out. It's Box Crib. You may have seen
Box Crib.
Box Crib.
Box Crib.
Box Crib. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know.
They're based in Mount Eden, I think. But
It's good to know because I've said this on air before, but there are a few marketing charlatans out there, like digital marketing. So it's good to have a shout out for the good ones.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, these guys are great, and they really just niche down into socials. And I decided I wanted to take that angle because I consider myself a pretty like decent salesman, like, and I actually enjoy it. Like, I like going out and meeting people, and I kind of like the hustle. And like when people tell me no, I'm like, you mean not yet?
Yeah,
like, I'll be back. Yeah. I'll be back. It's actually the worst thing you can say to me because you don't. Then I never leave you alone.
Yeah. Next thing you got a restraining order.
Yeah, a few of those already.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I decided the angle I was going to take is get a lot of attention on social media so that people know who I am. So then when I go and do my sales call, it's not as cold.
Yeah.
Because, rocking up to a guy's or a builder or whatever, and then saying, hi, I'm Braeden, they're like, oh yeah, like who are you sort of thing. But then if you're sort of being in their face a bit, it's a lot softer when you go in. Yeah. So that I'm trying that angle out. It is new.
I did an episode with Stanley Henry from The Attention Seeker.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I was like, can you explain what the difference is between sales and marketing? And he goes, basically, through whatever medium that is, whether it's word of mouth, transactional social media, call to action type posts, stuff like that. He said sales, the 5% of people who are ready to buy right now. And you're probably going to struggle to convert them off some post where they click a button and spend thousands of dollars with you. He goes, marketing is basically brand awareness, where you're appealing to the other 95% who may buy off you in the future.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you're saying.
100%. Yeah. So the social thing is just all about getting in front of people.
Yeah.
And then I just do my thing that I like to do and just go out and try sell. And the thing with the social thing is that it's practically impossible to measure an ROI because you don't know who's talking about it or who's like, you can see the impressions.
Yeah.
Like, to give you a bit of an insight. So last month we had like 63,000 impressions or views on our Instagram page.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cooked considering we're just like some random sparkies doing like some stuff. So, that's 63,000 people that have seen who we are. So when I do approach people, there's a good chance they may have already seen us or already know who we are.
Yeah.
The market's a bit tougher at the moment, but as long as I just keep in front of them, I think when the time is right, hopefully we'll be top of mind.
Just being recognizable, like you say, maybe they have just seen you and they go, oh, that's that guy. It takes you from being here when you first meet them to here. They've already got like a weird level of trust.
Yeah. Well, look, I'll give you an example. I went and met with a client on Monday, and I arranged a meeting with one of the project managers. And when I got into the office, I think it was like 12 people. One of the ladies in there is like, oh my God. She's like, you're that guy. And I'm like, yeah, what do you mean? Like, I'm that guy. She's like, I've seen you. Like, you're on LinkedIn. And I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but, it broke the ice.
Yeah, it definitely does, man. And it's just that level of trust that, it almost, I think in today's age, it makes you more legitimate, the fact that you have an online profile.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Or makes you seem that way.
It certainly helps, yeah. And especially if you're a company that's doing lots of cool projects. I think you're crazy not to get on there.
Yeah.
Because, the more cool stuff you can showcase, the better, I think. And
absolutely. Well, I mean, even if you're not getting out there really pushing content and if you're just at least posting pictures of the projects you've done, it's still an online portfolio of work. Because the first thing, you go tender a job for a commercial company or stuff, they're going to go, right, what have these guys done before? How staffed are they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, you don't need to be posting 2-3 times a week.
Nah.
Unless if you're really trying to get in front of people, yes. But I think every business needs a minimum of social media presence. a couple
Yeah.
photos, even if you update it like, every couple of weeks, every month, just to show that you're active. I guess that's the main thing.
I agree. I mean, you look at it from my perspective, right? If I get a lead on a company or somebody, because obviously a lot of our members are member referrals. Obviously, people can get in touch with us and be like, hey, we're interested in joining, da da da. Long story short, there's a due diligence process that goes on. Obviously, the first thing I do is look them up online.
Yeah.
Like, have you got an online presence? Da, da, da. And I think nowadays, if you don't have a website, don't have social media and stuff, honestly, my first impression are these guys. My next step then is to go onto the company's register and see if they're actually a registered business because I'm going...
Yeah, where are they? What's going on here?
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, some people just don't do it. They're still awesome companies, but it is, it's first impressions.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, because I think of it myself, like if I'm ever out anywhere and I see, I don't know, there's something I like, maybe there's a pair of pants or whatever I want to buy.
Yeah.
I immediately go to Instagram and I search the business up. Or I always go, I don't even use Google. I go Instagram and they go to the website from there.
Yeah.
So if people are doing that, if I'm doing that with everything I do, I assume people are going to be doing similar stuff with construction, especially if you've got someone who, like a homeowner who's going to be, putting money into, their house, doing a renovation. That's that's everything to them. That could be the biggest investment of their life at that time.
Yeah.
And they want to know who's working in there and they're going to do a good job.
Yeah. And I think that's why it's really good that you're doing the on-camera stuff as well, because they want to see the type of work that you're capable of, and but they want to know who you are, like who's doing it.
Yeah, it's honestly it's hard. I think because I had to do some stuff. I did a director's interview last week.
Yeah,
and they sit me down on my couch.
Who was this for?
This is for the marketing company. So we're doing an interview because a lot of the stuff that we have is site based.
Yeah,
but I want to sort of switch it up a bit and just get a little bit more in front of the camera, and then also do some stuff that's a bit different, just so because everyone's posting stuff about projects, it's sort of it's a blending in together.
Yeah,
everyone's doing the same. So I sort of want to just come into it and change it a bit. And the director's interview was basically me on a couch in my office.
Casting couch.
It legitimately looks. That's what they said when they came in. It looks like a casting couch. I literally felt like Johnny Sins on there. I'm like, I'm sitting there like this, and then they've got like 2 cameras, and they got like a big light like this here, like right here, and I'm sitting on this casting couch. And then they had like a bunch of questions, and they gave them to me earlier, and I read through them, but like.
So what you're telling me is you're marketing on Pornhub now?
Yes. You'll see.
Solid, mate. You'll get way more views.
Brought to you by Voltsy Electrician.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, fuck. And I like it's really, really hard to like be looking at a camera and like talking. Because the worst part is like I would first read the questions and I would come up with the answer and I would rehearse it, and then I'd try and say it and I sound like a robot.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And I was like, it's better. I think it's better to actually not do that and just answer like off, like have an idea but answer a bit more freestyle.
Totally, like do it. So we're maybe 25 or so episodes into this now.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty comfortable in here. Da 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 da. But if I have to look at the camera and speak to it on my own, I'm like,
even if no one's in
face
the room,
starts twitching, you know, da, da, da.
Mouth goes dry, and you're like,
And then I've done I did one podcast elsewhere on another podcast. I was absolutely shitting my pants.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, you do this all the time? Like, just go and have a yam, but because it was elsewhere, I'm like,
far out. There's one throwback we did. We did it in a nightclub last year. And it was like, it's actually, to this day, it's probably still one of our coolest projects. Because we did like we used pixelated LEDs on the ceiling. Do you know what pixelated LEDs are?
Not really.
So like, imagine an LED strip, but then there's like chips every like 5 centimeters that allows you to individually control that segment of light.
Yeah, got you.
So like you could have one strip a meter long and have multiple colors, or you can have a pattern flowing through it.
Yeah, got you. And it'll move.
We had the whole ceiling. Yeah, it was 64 separate 1 meter lengths of LED, and like basically it's cool as fuck. Like you can like make patterns and stuff, and then you can also sync it to the music, so it'll react to like the bass or whatever.
Yeah.
So this is before I had a marketing company. I just found a guy who does content, but he does like content for cars, like fucking Nissan Skyline or whatever, and he'll he'll like zoom into the rims and like do like all these like intense things, and he like came in and did one for me, and like he like wrote a script for me to say, and like this is my first time ever recording anything.
Yeah.
And like my missus still mocks me to this day, because like I remember the guy telling me like, okay, read this, say it into the camera, and he's like, but then he kept telling me, like, cut more energy, and I'm like, okay, and then he like cut, like more energy, and then like there's like in the final cut, I'm like, welcome to the and I'm like doing this, and then like my missus like still like when I see her, she walk into the kitchen, she'd be like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, fuck, she'll never let me live it down.
Full gangster TV presenter.
Honestly, like full gangster. And I'm like, yeah, give us a call. And like, I just like when I look at it now, I'm like, fuck, that's so cringy, but.
It's quite kind of hard sometimes to be yourself on camera, but not be like too subdued where it's boring as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you don't want to come on and be like, hi.
Yeah,
welcome.
Put a voice on.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Right. So, what is your goal with Voltsy? Where are we going?
Yeah. So, I don't have a size in terms of head count that I want. But I do know what kind of work I want to be doing and the type of company I want. So like commercial interiors, larger scale stuff, I'm talking like, a full floor fit out of like 30 floor in the NZ Tower. Something like that sort of stuff. Ideally stuff that's like has a lot of detail, higher end, you're dealing with like expensive fittings.
Cool shit.
A lot of joinery with like cool LEDs in it, things like that. And then we want to get a little bit more into the high end houses. Like I say, I have some experience in that, and I want to push back into that market. Those are the two ideal scenarios for us. I want to build a team where we just got basically a really good culture. And we actually are starting to get that now. We actually do something which is pretty interesting. So we used to do like the Thursday, Friday after work beers, the classic tradie. But because all of our guys live in different spots, we found that everyone got stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
So what we did is we changed our working hours. So now we do Monday to Thursday full days, and we do half day Fridays. So everyone gets home earlier on a Friday, and then we switch the social thing to Wednesday 7 a.m. and we do a kickboxing class at City Kickboxing. And at first I didn't think we would have buy-in, but then I put the idea out, and everyone was like, yeah, we'll give it a go. And now we've got like Jenna. She's our youngest girl. She's 22, I think. She's quite timid, but she comes to this kickboxing class and she's out there going, yeah, she's given it a go. She loves it, yeah. And like everyone turns up 7 a.m. and they're there, and we have a workout, and then they shower and they get to site at 8:30.
Yeah.
So that's
cool, man.
Yeah, and
definitely different.
Yeah, and I'm sure the guys like this, but we did like a punishment where if you are late or if you cause the class to start late, then you have to do 1 minute of defense at the end of the course.
So everyone's just kicking the shit out.
I turned up. I was like a few minutes late. Yeah, and then at the last session, there was 4 of them because the other 2 didn't come. But there's 4 of them, and I had to literally just stand there with like my gloves and my pads on, and then everyone else just starts like laying into me, and I'm just in there like having to defend everything, and like they're just queuing up. And I'm like, I'm sure they fucking love this, eh? Like, how many places can you actually jump in the ring and just like throw some punches and kicks at your boss?
Yeah.
And then everything's okay afterwards?
Yeah.
Like, not many. So
no
like,
repercussions.
Yeah, like this is a safe space. You hit me as hard as you want, but so that's sort of the culture we're trying to build. It's just where like everyone loves what they're doing. Everyone loves working with each other. And everyone's having fun because, like, fuck, if you're not having fun, then what's the point in doing it?
Yeah, exactly. Mate, it's awesome and it's real refreshing. It's nice to hear a guy like yourself who's trying some different things, really paying attention and being purposeful about what you're doing. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing where it goes, mate.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you got anything you want to leave people with or add, or?
Not really, but if you're if you're wanting to follow us, check us out on Instagram, Voltsy Electrical _NZ.
Peace. Nah, cool as mate. Well, thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah.
And if you've made it this far, thank you very much for listening. Stay safe out there, keep puzzling, and we'll catch you next time.
Awesome, mate. Thanks for having me.